Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Today is August the 3rd, 2025 on the ancient moon calendar, 2026 on the ancient sun calendar. It is 5785 on the ancient Hebrew Israelite calendar. It's 10,066 on the ancient Yoruba calendar. It's 1445 and 1446 on the ancient Islamic calendar, and millions and trillions and millions of years on the ancient Moorish calendars. Our calendars supersede all time. All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity and in alignment and according to the ancient Noahide laws, as stated by this Holy Congress. This is a sovereign living ancient Article 3, Moorish American Al-Moroccan Universal Court action. We are the divine sovereign living justices, and Aqquisitionne Pauline Ritchie. My free chosen sovereign appellation is Light Tajiri Bay. All are in capitis diminution nolo in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are capit et corpus juris legalis, which is our statement that we are the one and only lawful and legal natural living head and body for our empire. All Moors are the divine, original, indigenous, sovereign, ancient, Al-Moroccan, Moorish American ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet, and of the ancient Moabites, Canaanites, Shemites, Israelites, Cushites, and Hittites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our honor, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient Moroccan empire. We're the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government. We are ancient Washington District 4, Columbia. We're the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Earth-wide Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. Today, we are the law by our sovereign status, which is the original indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient Article 3 living United States District for Columbia Court. And we're the sovereign fiduciaries, original creditors, executors, divine ministers, possessors, grantors, and title trustors for all causes for action. And our system is the trustee. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. We do accept our own sovereign divine ascension. We do possess in our custody all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We, the true living God nation, are not at war. We are not at war. We are not at war. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. And we are all eternal, ancient, original sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, nunc pro tunc, Islam. Really quickly, we will yield the floor to Justice King Moomin L. He had some things he wanted to briefly share with the Congress. Justice King Moomin L. Islam, we yield the floor to you for about 3 minutes. Islam. Yes, Islam.
Yes, I'm here because I've been under attack by this same judge, and this case has been going on for almost 5 years, and they got a false case on me where they claim that I threatened and intimidated the judge in that case. Nothing like that ever happened. So the class action case upon which this in Seattle case number is 25-2. Huh?
Go ahead.
Dash 12444-4 SEA. That means Seattle Court.
Okay.
And in that court, I had a hearing on the 11th of July where everybody defaulted that I sued them from the Republican form of government against the Democratic government. And everybody that's as defendants defaulted. But what happened is this so-called state of Washington got together with this, the Attorney General for the state of Washington got together and made up a motion to dismiss, and they got there and lied and wouldn't even accept anything I was saying, and they dismissed their case on the grounds like this. They said that we're dismissing the case. You can go and get everybody else. You can get Donald Trump and everybody else but the state of Washington. We're separate from Donald Trump. We're not part of this democratic government. I said, what? But, I had took them through a whole lot, because I took them through Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution, and also under treason. This case is under treason. So I'd like to share with everybody a document called a Notice of Appearance, upon which we all appear in this court, and we will run them through with our treaty. This case is ready to be had right now, but what happened, they dismissed the case, and now I have to go and do what you call an order to show cause to set aside this motion to dismiss, all because they didn't have jurisdiction over the case. I want to send the government, the continental government, the paperwork. It's a class action, like I say, and it's for everyone all over the world, because we own the world. And my job is to put our flag back up on top of the White House, and as well as the continental flag that you see, and the whole thing, because it's ours. And so yes.
Let me ask you a couple of questions about the action that you're doing. First, we honor your work that you're doing, because it's great work. Anyone who knows that they are not Negro, Black, colored, and African American and is standing on that, we honor and affirm the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
So my question is are you requesting that we go to that place and appear in what was previously enacted as a court?
Correct. Only through e-filing. You don't. So what's happening is that one of the claims I have is that there are no United States citizens here.
Right.
And they got everybody calling themselves citizens. And my job is to correct everything as the emperor. And so when I come, I'm coming at them hard. So I've talked to them about the jurisdiction, where the jurisdiction comes through the womb of the Iroquois mother, or the Moors. And they don't have jurisdiction. They're always acting like they got jurisdiction. But inside their phony court, they have our Star-Spangled Banner of the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco. And what's missing in the court is the the continental flag and the flag of Morocco you have inside your court. So yes.
If we may make just a few clarifications about the action. It is a good action that you're doing. However, because we know that those are fake courts, we don't even go to them.
No, we're in our court. No, you missed it.
We would never go anywhere thinking that that's a court. But we will, to clarify a couple of other things, and I know you're aware of that. We just want to state that for those who are listening, that we don't go to fake courts. What we do is we make our statements through our own court. King Moomin, this is something that everyone should know. The reason why we stand here today is because we demonstrated who we are. It wasn't because they did anything at all, because they couldn't do anything. We had to do it. So even with the number of the court case that you're speaking of, because a lot of Moors do go and get a court case number from them, that court case number with the dashes in it has to be restated so that the dashes come out, because they're trying to say that you're a debtor by assigning that number. So it's the same number, it looks the same, but it doesn't have the dashes in it, and then our court speaks using that as the cause number. Well, so we would love to receive the paperwork that you have, and what we'll do is we'll restate the paperwork. And when we say restate it, it just means that the subjects in the office of court assigned a number to it. We will restate that number. We'll lien, levy, and bond, because that's how we do it. And then we reissue that number, and then we speak our verdict with that number.
No, I know how you do it,
Yeah.
but that's not how it's going here. This is a case,
Okay.
international law,
Okay.
and I would have to sit down with you and teach you the Federal's law about the Federal's ink pen, upon which Joe Biden last had and now Trump has, which belongs to me. And so this is where we have a difference in understanding, where you talk about being in Article 3 court, when our court is the real court called the Royal Court of Morocco, which is truly mentioned in our treaty of our Iroquois Moorish American Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 and 1836. And plus, you handed me a copy of it when we first met at my home. You had sent me.
Yeah, that was about 5 or 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Than that.
It was longer than that? Yeah. So since that time, since that time, we have written the treaty ourselves and put it on the public record and signed it and stamped it and sealed it with our own stamps and seals. And so when we talk about an Article 3 court even, it's the Constitution we wrote. We wrote it, and this Congress, we all wrote it together and put it on the public record, stamped and sealed it. So it's that Article 3, not any corporate or courts Article 3. We don't even talk to them except to tell them, to notify them of what we've done already. Right. And then we put the court stamps on our own documents. So those who were acting as district courts and those who were acting as municipal courts and all of that, that's why we stand here today unencumbered. And that's because we have done the things that we did. They don't bother us, not at all. And they won't bother you either when these things are done, as we continue to do these things. Because see, one thing we're not going to do, and this is something that we all agreed, we're not going to go warring against them, because we don't have an issue with them. They don't bother us, so we don't have an issue with them.
You just don't know what I'm talking about. We do. We know that you're answering to an all caps name that they keep putting on paper. That's why you're saying they're bothering you. We're talking about that, Empress. I know what you know, but you don't. This is a 23-year federal criminal investigation I'm talking about. You know nothing about it. You got me the paperwork when I first met you, but it's a lot more intense. And so this is where you have to read the summons and complaint, and we have also what you call the case calendar schedule for trial. Okay. But our trial is not in their trial; it's in their court. Our court is like this. When you read Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution, it truly talks about how the supreme law of the land, which is our law, is to be used. But these lawyers and judges, they're outside of the law. It's like the people don't really realize that they're the masters and they're the so-called servants, but they're not even part of our government. It's an organized criminal gang that took over our spots and enslaved us since George Washington. And this is what this case is about. And it's about reparations too. And so I have to provide you with the reparations form. It's a deep case. Go ahead.
So if you would, Nobility, just send us the documentation, because apparently, and I know that Congress can hear this, but Congress, we won't talk about it at this moment in depth, because we got other things to talk about. But what we do here is a misidentification of who they are. We hear that. They're not judges. We don't even talk to them like that, because there are no judges but the Moors. We don't call them judges because it's against the law. It's against the law for us to call them that or treat them like that. Their word is not treated that way or anything. So all we'll state right now is send us the documentation, and you and I can sit down and talk about it at any time, whenever you are willing to do so. Nobility, you know where we are. You've been here before. And so
now.
Huh?
I need to see you like right now. It's that urgent.
So then if you would, let's get together this week whenever it's a good time for you. You know where we are.
Okay, well, it's been a minute since I've been there. Text me your information, and also I'd like to do a conference call with you and Prince Prince Ali that
Okay.
you had met,
Sure.
because he's the marshal and he served the papers on these fools. They're
Okay.
through. Now, you got to
So
imagine that. You got to imagine that I served Donald Trump's U.S. attorney, and they couldn't respond to this lawsuit because
he's not a real attorney. He's not a real attorney. The one you're talking about is not a real attorney.
it's like about talking to the choir, right? We know that, but they're
But
still
you can't.
holding.
When we know it, we have to say it. We have to say it. We have to say it, especially on this platform. We have to say it.
Sometimes we can be too technical and we'll lose the flavor.
We'll never be too technical.
No, I'm just understand me. I'm not clashing. I need you to read the paperwork first before we can even go into any dialogue. Yes.
We're happy to do that, Nobility. So why don't you plan on coming by this week whenever it's or we can meet at a Starbucks or someplace like that.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah, but it's more convenient for us if you come here though. So yeah. Okay, Nobility, we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you and hearing what you have to say and discussing the nuances. We also know that we don't go into subject matter until proper identities of the parties is established. That's the first step in any court action is who is it that's talking, who's the court, who's the subjects, who's the creditor, who's the debtor. We establish all of that at the beginning of any court action. So thank you for sharing what you're sharing with us, and we're looking forward to seeing you again, of course, seeing you again, and speaking with you and getting all of this on the record, Islam. Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate
it. You know what I appreciate about you is that you and I don't always agree, but we still love each other, and we still kind of manage to talk it through. So
once you learned, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, Nobility. Go ahead.
I'm a professional musician. I've been playing guitar since 1968, and my friend, his father was a drummer. And he would come into the basement where we practiced at his house. And he would always come in with some advice. And he would say, Pickett, that's my nickname, you niggas. He said, y'all don't stick together. You need to be like the Jews, right? He says, the Jews, they'll be mad as hell at each other and want to kill each other, but they will come together to save their stuff. And then after they come together and fix everything, they'll go back to fighting. So I'm saying we got to come together, throw away all the bullshit, keep ourselves in honor, no matter what we might have. Even our stuff ain't got no issues, you know that. But I'm just saying, we have to throw away any issue in order to take care of our future. And in our treaty and our Iroquois Constitution, it shows about our future. It shows we own over 1 billion miles square miles, and so on. It gets into a whole lot of stuff. And this Constitution that everybody's talking about is void. It was never seen by the Emperor Sidi Muhammad. It's just a piece of stuff that was put before our Iroquois Constitution when they enslaved us.
United States Nobility, I'll say this about that. Everything is void until we write it. Everything is void. Everything you've ever seen is not real, and it's void until all of us write it and put it out there.
It's already there. We already have one.
Yes, we have done a lot of that. You have done a lot of that. A lot of the Moors have done a lot of restating things and making it real and putting it on the record. Nothing is real until we say it is.
Exactly.
So we honor and appreciate that you're here. And again, it's great to see you. We're going to go on with our topics, but I will let you know that I'm so grateful that you reached out to us. I really am. I was looking forward to this day.
Yes.
It's a great solar return for gift for us today, because today is our solar return. And so this is a great gift for us, both you and Prince Ali. and the governments that you are, the Iroquois government and the United States of America Republic government that Prince Tayyan Ali is as well. We honor both governments and we recognize you, Islam.
That is the government that stands right behind you, where you got the continental flag behind you. That's Iroquois. All
Islam.
that stuff back there is Egyptian.
Yeah, Islam.
So you're going to get on with your affairs. I'm so happy to talk to you and to talk to the people that's on board with you, because the documentation, all you have to do is e-file. And it's like instead of you going and marching, there's no marching no more. It's all about taking back everything right now. That's why I need to talk to you urgently, because they're through. Islam.
Let's do that. Let's get together as soon as possible.
All right.
Islam. Thank you. The Iroquois government, we appreciate you.
The Star-Spangled Banner of the Iroquois Confederation of Morocco is right behind you.
Yes, it is. It's
All
this one right here.
I know that's right.
And
peace and love and family.
Peace and love to you as well, nobility. Thank you,
right.
Islam.
Islam.
We do will to, as we're moving through this Congress, also speak about the great Sheikh Taj. He had some, there were some things that they presented at House of Reawakening Minds, and our great Empress, Matriarch, Empress Dr. Nyella Gilliam L., whom we honor. They talked about some things, and we'll just talk. They affirmed the things that we've been stating. Number one, they affirmed that the all caps name being tied to a Sesteq v. Trust enactment, which is civil liter mortuus type action. They mentioned that briefly on this most recent Friday. They also talked about exiting the unum sanctum debt contracts. Exiting the unum sanctum debt contracts means anything in all capital letters and black ink has to be exited. We'll show you how to do that today again, because we have a presentment along those lines that I'm so grateful for Empress Imani. She asked a question last week of this Congress, and we have greater expansion on her question from last week. And also, I'm extremely grateful for Empress Angel, who asked a question last week as well about how do we present a certain piece of information. We have an expanded remedy for that as well today that we would love regarding automobiles. And I'm going to tell you, it really works. It really works. Some things we're not at liberty to say right now about how well it works, but it works 100%. We have to do everything outside of unum sanctum debt contracts. The great Sheikh Taj talked about CGI and AI being used because the previous matrix has been dismantled. So this is what we're saying about fake courts and fake judges and all of that. A lot of what you see out there when you go out onto YouTube and television and whatever else, a lot of that stuff is not, it's that. Our great Sheikh Taj brought that up. CGI and AI being used is theater, it's acting. And that is why, and we know that to be true. We know that to be true. Number 4, another something that he brought up. We must rebut, and he used the word contest, competently, claim your birthright so that there is no attempt to waive your rights. Falsehood flees or transforms. That was something that the great Sheikh stated. Falsehood will flee or it will change. It will transform right before your very eyes. Another something that the great Sheikh talked about, he said language has frequency and creates contracts. Language has frequency and creates contracts. Let that sink in, Morris. It is the truth. Language being Is it in all capital letters in black ink? That's not real. That's not living language right there. That's not living language when it's done by foreigners. It's not. Another something that he stated, black means dead according to science even. Political sciences, political sciences, all the sciences state that black means dead. So we are not Negro, black, colored, African American. That we know for sure. Number 7, all things are tied to frequency. And so Empress Dr. Nyala Gilliam gave us an admonishment to fast from so much violent media and television and all of that, to fast from what we call the funny mirror. And again, August 9th is the full moon. So August 8th, 9th, and 10th we'll be fasting as a nation. We do that every full moon, every month. We fast. How you fast is up to you, because you cannot tell sovereigns how to fast. We will not tell sovereigns how to fast. Sometimes we fast, like this most recent fast that we had last full moon, this previous full moon rather. We did water only for the whole 3-day period. Water and sea salt, our saltwater minerals. You can fast from whatever it is. You can fast from the television and violent media. You can fast from anyone that doesn't look like you. You can fast from their videos too. Anyone who's not talking about nationality and things, you can fast from those videos for 3 days or more. You can fast from anything coming from the funny mirror. Actors like Donald Trump and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and all of that, those are actors. Fast from that so that you won't be thinking that that's real, because it's not. And we would encourage as many as possible to fast from the fakery and the acting. Fast from it for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, if you will, so that you can hear in the spirit realm, so that it can manifest in the realm that we're at. We're at all dimensions and realms. We govern them all. This one here, we govern this one as well. Number 8, the U.S. fiat debt notes have run their course. Now, this came from, again, the great Sheikh Taj and the great matriarch, Empress Dr. Nyala Gilliam L. And again, we're all one here. All of us, we're all one. So each of our word is just as valuable as the next. So we're just pointing this out because those are some that we listen to, because the great Sheikh Taj was the one who broke the spell over our lives of sleep, the sleep spell over our lives. So, and then number 9, get rid of vanity. You don't have to get rid of ego. Ego is fine. Vanity is not. And here's the thing, it's not vanity if it's true. If it's true, you must speak the truth. I freed myself twice from fake jails. That's true. It's not bragging. It's the truth. We must speak the truth. We're the wealthiest people who've ever existed. That's not vanity. That's truth. And there's nothing wrong with saying that and stating that. Islam. August 1st, the moon has entered Leo constellation. So we've entered the Purva and Uttara. The moon has entered Purva and Uttara Falguni energy shift. That Falguni and Purva energy shift is about prosperity and wealth through unions with our system and our subjects. That's important. Union with our system and our subjects. So we're learning how to use our systems better, so that our systems do, for us, give us the result that we are commanding the system to give. Oh, that works. Let me tell you, that works. And sometime soon we'll share with you one of the biggest manifestations we've ever done happened this week. And we'll share that with you at some point. But we've been sharing that information all along. This time of manifestation of our physical living conditions coming into alignment with our status, our bloodline, our inheritance, and our birthright. We are balancing the books. Balancing the books. So our physical living conditions have got to come into alignment with all that we've been stating, all in our status and our bloodline, our birthright, our inheritance. That is happening right now. Here's our truth. We stated this before, but we'll state it again. We were born wealthy beyond all that any could think or even imagine. Shortly after birthing, we were placed among the commoners and treated as commoners, not remembering that we are not commoners. The commoners were under oath not to speak about our true identity as the nobility and gods at earth, and we spelled oath that way for a reason. We spent some time out of our minds in order to test our ability to rise, to remember, to state, and to activate the processes that create our systems or that awaken our systems. Now we remember who we really are. We do all things from our true highest status, stations, positions, wealth on our land. We preserve, restore, present, establish, build, thrive, and flourish on our own land, even now, and nunc pro tunc. Islam. With that being stated, our topic for today, our main topic is salvation, Islam.
May I add one more thing
before
we proceed?
Yes.
What Grand Chief said?
Yes.
He said that lack of knowledge brings destruction. Islam.
Ooh. Wasn't that powerful, Empress?
It's so true. I witness it now.
Yes.
Islam. A lot of things going on with my kids. So
yeah. Yeah. And we state in alignment with what he stated that knowledge is building. Knowledge is our ability to build. That's what's happening right now. Right now. And also, Empress Cynthia, Empress Rose Tao, Empress Angel, Empress Shasha, Empress Anagel, if you all and any of the other matriarchs who've been with the Congress for a while, if you all would stay after Congress for just a moment or two, I'd like to share a little bit of information with you, the matriarchs, and specifically Islam, if you all don't mind.
Islam, I affirm.
Islam. Thank you, Empress.
Islam.
Empress. Islam. Thank you.
Islam, I affirm.
Islam. Thank you, Empress.
Islam, I affirm.
Islam. Thank you, Empress.
Islam, I affirm.
Empress Karima. So salvation, redemption for all property. The basis and success for all processes is the balancing of the entries on both sides of the ledger. We do not deal in debt at all. Therefore, all debt must be zeroed out, canceled, on the restated receipts for all property. Empress Angel asked about this, and we'll show you a zeroed out. We'll show you exactly how to write that up. Attempting to use debt when we are the creditors is confusion, and we are not at war, because confusion and war mean the same thing. When you look up the word war in the dictionary, it will say confusion. And peace is clarity, Islam. Quick question. In 1933, if the U.S. was bankrupt, why would the U.S. start printing notes? Why did that happen? Does anyone know? In 1933, there was an enactment of a Bankruptcy Act and a Banking Act because the U.S. was bankrupt. Does anyone know then why they would start printing debt notes?
Islam.
Islam, Empress.
Because it's a promise to pay the true creditors what they owe. So it's a measuring tool, if you would, as to show, okay, this fiat, we can't pay in real money, so we're going to just put this in place and say, okay, when we can get the gold and silver, this shows that we have the intention in paying. So we're going to just circulate this amongst the people who have the desire and the intention to pay in real money. And when we get that opportunity, it will be exchanged, and then we will be out of debt. So that's how I understand the debt note, because it is a promise to pay. And it even states that in the original contract that instituted the fiat, this promise to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, we don't have, and that's why they called it the promised land. That when they get to the promised land, that just means we redeem all of that. Well, Empress Imani Empress Imani, are you present? From the after.
I am here.
Empress, I'm just so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you because you asked the question in our previous Congress, our most recent Congress, about that process. And you mentioned a 1099 acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So we went ahead and we created the universal acquisition to match the 1099 cancellation. So all debt is canceled, and then we have to do that with each of the exchanges that we do. We just show that it's canceled, and we'll show you how to do that today. And then this will go on the public record. It's already stamped and sealed and signed and everything, and then you all can add your will to it as well. And what it is this is the acquisition of the credits, the trust, the wealth abundance, the prosperity, and the estate, and all other that is owed to the people is perfected at this time and is part and parcel of this affidavit record. So this is for 2025, which is the year. It's a 1099 creditor acquisition affidavit. All taxed entities is what are being manifested in terms of properly paying. Payment must always be in lawful money and legal tender. Lawful money and legal tender is gold, both is gold, silver, and more sovereign dollarium, and our word and our signatures, okay, our autographs, we know that. Here, the description or brand name of the tax entity, and again, you put your information here, Morris, or feel free to leave it as is, not leave it as is. Feel free to present it as is with our autograph on it as well, or you can add your autograph to it, or however the Spirit leads you, okay, to present this document. And creditor, where interest is concerned, creditor owns 100% interest in all property, okay? The total property creditor amount is $65,246,984,975.44, which is exactly 10%, almost to the point. 10%, which is the tithes due to us, because we are God and tithes are to be paid to the Lord, of the 666 trillion that we put on the public record some years ago. It's been a few annums, about 5 or 6 annums. We put $666 trillion instrument, and we stated that all tithes will come from that. So this is the payment of the tithes coming to us. And it says here, this affidavit is constitutional and legally tendered for all government persons. And we spell persons differently because, again, we're not persons. We use persons to do whatever we will, both private and public, and for all personalities under the authority of the original United States before America. So we were the States United before any corporation or courts pretended to be us by using capital letters in black ink in their script writing and their Hollywood presentments from the previous era. And so this 1099 Universal Affidavit is for all records at all times, nunc pro tunc, all rights perfected and protected at all times, Islam. So we will put this on the public record, and this can be sent out. We probably should put it, we'll put a link to it under this video on YouTube when the video is placed on the public record, probably tomorrow, on Monday or Tuesday, whenever we are done editing this particular presentment that we're doing today. Yes, it says 2018 here. The event date was 2018, August the 6th, nunc and nunc pro tunc. Okay, 2018, and all times including 2025. Okay. This acquisition is in alignment with what Empress Angel was stating about what debt notes really were, is a promise to pay. But since we don't use debt, we had to cancel the debt and then pay, not pay as in buying, because we don't have to buy back our own estate, it's ours. But we must, as competent heirs, give proper accounting for everything. Because we are smart like that. We're intelligent like that. We keep track of what's in our trust, how much our trusts are worth, and then we go about acquiring. Not consuming, but acquiring. That's why it's called an acquisition affidavit and not a consumption affidavit. So don't let anybody make you feel bad about acquiring that which is yours, Islam, because you're doing so competently in the majority. Yes, Justice Onlango states in the chat that that 2018 date that is on here, that's the time that we placed the gold standard on the public record, and we placed the $666 trillion instrument on the public record. This government did, this Congress did in 2018, and right after that came, you know, some enactment, the quote unquote worldwide enactment of a vaccine and all of that stuff came into play in the theater, Islam. So we will to make note here. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see some of the presentments on it. The law applied to this event, the Constitution for the United States as written by this government, and all United States codes as written and stated by this government. Money, credits, currency, and all other credited to the United States Treasury, $65,246,984,975.44. And so we can, again, use this. Now let's show you how to use it, Morris, because this is really important when it comes to the abolishment that we have done and the canceling of the debt. The reason why they were printing the debt in the first place was because there was enacted property and products and services, but there was no way to sell or sell them. So remember, in 1933 and 1913, the actors were looking for a way to begin enacting selling things. Okay, so it's as if we said to them, demonstrate in your enacting how to sell a house. So they said, well, we don't have any money to do that with, so let's just create these monopoly fake notes, and then we'll show you the process. We'll show the process. We'll show the process. Okay. That is why we restate things the way we restate them, because there was property, products, and services, but there was no way to move them until they started enacting selling and buying with fiat. That was back then in their enactment. Today, now look at how things switched. Today, we know that there's lots of money, but there's no debt. There are many products, goods, services, works, and all others that are ready for movement by legal right. So there was a legal tender issue, okay? Because that's how the products were moving, was legally. Lawfully, we know everything belongs to us already, so we've created gold and silver and all of that to demonstrate that. Today, many products, everything we see is for us. Everything that we see is for us. It must be properly stated, though. And it can only move when it's properly stated. So, salvation, redemption. There are some who are still under the delusion. There's a mass who are still, they're coming out of an illusion and a hallucination and a delusion that fiat is worth something. And we won't play the video, but we'll just show you an example of that delusion, thinking that fiat is real. There is a video that came out, and here, let's make sure that it does not play. This is to get everyone's attention out there that fiat U.S.debt is being called out. The system is saying you must come out of that. So what's happening? The mechanisms that were enacted by which the U.S. debt was being moved around is freezing. It's called an ice age. It's called an ice age, and that's why they kept talking about ice this and ice that, and the ICE department stopping people at the quote unquote border. All they're saying is, if you got fiat and you coming across, we got to stop you. If you got gold and silver, and that's what the majority of them came here with, gold and silver, they couldn't stop them because we said that's money. And many of them came across with delirium because we know they hear us. Couldn't stop them. They could not stop them. But see, there's some sleeping Moors. So it has to be this way, that way for the sleeping Moors who are still, they have to wake up. They're getting there, but they haven't awakened fully to these processes. And what we're doing, nobilities, is making it easier for them to make the transition by presenting these processes. So frozen, quote unquote, frozen accounts, they just don't realize that that's not real money and that the real money is not frozen. He has more of it than he can even fathom, but he must be properly stated. He must be in his proper status. They all must be in proper status. We all must be in proper status in order for the money to continue moving. Because see, the real money's been moving for years. We've been doing delarium for a long time. It's customs and usage now for us. And according to treaty law, customs and usage must be honored by all. And we are seeing that manifest. Ooh, yes, we are. So we are remedying the mass delusion, illusion, and hallucination spell that was previously cast on everyone. Justice Harold says, we do not want to be workers of iniquity. We do not. And we are not. Fortunately for us, we don't have to worry about our ancestors judging us harshly or at all even, because we are competent to judge ourselves and to do the right things, Islam. And for that, we're grateful. So from the previous era, not the previous era, the most recent Congress, we were talking about redemption. One of the redemption processes on how to write up and zero out the debt, let us share that information with you. So where automobiles are concerned, and this is for automobiles or domiciles or anything, what we did was we pulled up an automobile, and this is a sample of a demonstration that we actually did. We pulled up an automobile on the internet to see, okay, what does this automobile look like? What are the statistics and specifications on it so that we can restate everything? So we pulled up something that is enacted as being a Cadillac for $120,245, quote unquote. So what we did was we restated all the internal revenue. This is actually a tax document. And then we noted all of the, the numbers, the vehicle identification number, and we spelled vehicle with a K and not a C. The stock number, we put all of the information about the vehicle here. And then, Empress Angel, you asked about how to write up the zeroing out of the debt. We also applied the law to this, and applying the law includes 18 United States Code 2410, which we restated and published and put it on the public record. We also restated 12 United States Code 1701 and all other. So we stated the law that applies to this. And again, we're talking about legal matters. If lawful is the foundation, our identity is what allows us to do this. Our identity, knowing who we are and knowing that we have the authority to move money around and to state things properly, the 40-something documents tells us that we stated it first. The documents just affirm. The documents are our witness that we have the authority to move things around. So the debtor retail price was $120,245. And we'll say dollars, or we'll say units. Okay? Money units. The salvage title redemption discount is 50% off the debtor price of 120,245 money units. So what we did was we multiplied that amount by 0.50, which is 50%. So 0.50 or 50% or half off the debtor retail price came up to $60,122.50. So the salvage title redemption price is $60,122.50. But then we have the pre-economic crash insurance value. It's accounted for at 50% off the debtor price as well of $60,122.50. So we took the $60,000 that was left, 122, and we said we're going to add another 50% off the original of 120,245, and so the debtor price of another 50% off is $60,122.50. The pre-crash insurance value discount is another $60,122.50. So when we put those two 62,000s together and we take that and take it away from the debtor retail price, we get zero. So the accepted for original issue discount value amount due is $0. The final price after salvage redemption and insurance prepayment is $0. That means no fiat, no debt. No debt is due, okay? But for the purposes of we know how much we're putting into our trust, we're putting 120,245 money units, dollars, dollarium, gold, silver into our trust. And that is why we do these kinds of demonstrations, okay? So with this being stated, then we just autograph it. We just did the math, took half off for salvage title redemption and another half off for pre-economic crash insurance value. Because as you know, even if it's coming off the showroom floor, even if it just came off the manufacturer line, it's crashed in terms of the paperwork. That's why they call it an economic crash. So insurance pays automatically, quote unquote. So we take that amount off. We could have that could have been 100% right there. But we willed to make room for the salvage title redemption discount because we do have to title these products. And everything that goes into our estate, we must title it. We do the title and we also do the recordation. The recordation is just it looks very similar to a registration certificate for a car. So when the car is registered, we do a registration certificate or a recordation affidavit rather, instead of a registration certificate. And then you notify the subjects in the Office of Motor Vehicles or Transportation that this automobile is already registered to our state competently. Okay, so that we don't dilly-dally around in fiat.
Islam Empress.
Islam Empress Nabi.
The R, the code, what does that stand for?
The R, oh, it's the trademark for Cadillac. It's a registered trademark. They usually put a capital R. We put a lowercase r for registered trademark.
Islam, gratitude.
Yes, Islam. Thank you for asking, Empress. Islam, Justice Consul. If you could speak up as loud as you can, Justice Consul, because for some reason your voice gets really soft when.
I think because I'm lifted 1 second. I just want to say, Grand Rising, Consulate, United Kingdom territory, but at the moment I'm up in St. Lucia. They're coming to say hi to the Congress.
Islam, Grand Rising to you as well. He will to state Grand Rising to the Congress as well. And thank you, Nobility. We appreciate you. That's the United Kingdom government.
Grand Rising, Noble.
Yeah. Yes. Again, we recognize the United Kingdom government. That's the real king over there, y'all, just so that you're aware. That's the real emperor right there. One of them.
Islam rising.
Yeah. Islam. So this is how you zero out the debt. And this goes for domiciles. It goes for anything out there. You zero out the debt. 50% salvage title redemption discount, 50% pre-economic crash insurance value. Off.
Islam,
So yes, Nobility.
yes. If like, are you going to put a link to the debt cancellation too? I mean, to this
Yes.
one?
Both of these documents will be linked under in the description of the video when it goes out onto YouTube in the next couple of days.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome, Nobility. Islam Empress.
Question. Now for vehicle, of course, it's self-explanatory. A pre-crash insurance paid discount. Mm-hmm. However, how would we state it for a domicile or anything other than a vehicle? How would we state that?
So that would be stated on the deed, but it would be, the math would be the same math, 50% off for salvage title and 50% off for insurance, salvage insurance.
It'd just be called salvage insurance.
It'll just be called, yeah, it's salvage title redemption and pre-crash insurance, pre-economic crash insurance.
Okay.
For the domicile.
Oh, pre-economic. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because every domicile, every house, every property, when they say economic crash, the crash of 2008, you hear them say that a lot. They're trying to tell you that all the paperwork is no good. So we have to competently state that. None of it is, and again, the first time that happened was 1929. Islam Empress Nabi.
It's kind of like here where they say a lot of the quote-unquote court documents flooded with the allodial titles.
Yes.
Islam.
Yes. Actually, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in 1929. He did the same thing. He clouded all property titles. They just had to take it further, but again, the Moors had to know how to do that. These processes, it was necessary for the Moors to state a legal system whereby everything could be moved and conveyed to the people. A legal system was, because that's where the all caps came in at, where they started taking people and taking things, in their enactment. Is the people had to state a system, and as long as the Moors did not state a legal system, then they would use the enactment of a legal system to take. But we have received and will continue to receive and accept from our system. Yeah. All we had to do was put it on the record. And stuff is so for like with conveyances, with automobiles and horseless carriages. There's a series of things that we do. This is one of them. Then proper titling and proper recordation, which is another word. It's a valid word that takes the place of registration. So that's what recordation certificates are. And then you notify. And then even insurance and all of that, everything. We're putting it on the record how that works. That's how you protect things from being taken. And then things start coming. And before you know it, you'll have what it is you will. Islam. Chief Justice Imani and then Chief Justice Shasha.
This example also shows that there's no need for vehicle insurance. Is that correct?
It's not that there's no need for it, it's that the insurance is restated. That means you have insurance the day that you take the property is insured.
Okay, I'm confused now.
So what I'm saying, Empress, is the answer to your question is yes and no. We don't need to show that we have fake insurance. We must show that we have real insurance.
Okay, that's what I was referring to, the fake insurance.
Yeah.
So there's no need for us to even have any such thing because it's fake insurance because of it was already taken care of at the very beginning.
Yes.
Right.
Now, I'll say this too, Empress. If you had insurance, you should restate all of that because it has to be restated in order for it to even work. Restate it if you had it. If you didn't have it, then when you create this pre-economic crash insurance value, then it will automatically be, the insurance will automatically be stated under this exchange or in alignment with this exchange. Okay? So the exchange and the insurance will have the same number, court action number. And all you have to do is assign that number, pre-crash insurance value, and then you could say insurance cause number and then state that. For those who are using Treasury accounts to get things, then your restated security number without the dashes. We know because our security number don't have dashes. We're not debtors. That would be your insurance policy number. And then you would create, for each thing that you insure, you would create a number for that under that policy. So it would be like 001 would be for your first automobile. 002 would be for your house, your palace, your home, not home, your house or your domicile. Number 003 under that security number would be whatever else you put in your trust. Hopefully that didn't muddy the water, Empress.
Islam, that was
Islam. And I'll just give you an example of that really quickly. Let's see. So if my security number was this, then in my trust, the number for this conveyance would be 0001. And then when I get a second conveyance, the policy number for that conveyance would be 0002. And then when I get a domicile, that insurance policy number would be 0003 in your trust. Okay? And this is for your personal trust. Okay? That's how we would do that, to keep everything in order. Okay? So that's what we were stating about the insurance trust. Moors, don't if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with the information, don't worry about it, because the Spirit is going to make everything clear when you get to that bridge. You'll be able to cross that bridge as soon as you get there. You know, if you're not already there, and some are already on the other side, they already know how to do these things. And again, this is an internal revenue debt cancellation receipt.
Islam, I have a question now.
Sure.
Islam.
So, he notified.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Imbrashasha.
Yes. A quick question. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this, and you state down the bottom the original issue discount value.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 1099. That's a 1099 original issue discount. So would we? Are we required to do a 1099 original issue discount with this also, or it's just okay?
No, you're gonna note that on your 1099 acquisition affidavit.
Okay, is it on here somewhere?
The affidavit for the 1099 here. This is the universal 1099, but it shows you where everything is going to be. So the total property creditor amount, you'll put the $120,245 here.
Oh.
And then you see what I'm saying, and then that's going to take care of the acquisition of it.
So so the record of recording original issue discount is not necessary outside of the receipt.
I don't see where it's necessary right now. I don't see that where it's necessary.
And I'm just making clarification in my own mind, because I do know that there is a 1099.
Yes, but see, even with the original issue discount, this amount here, these amounts here are their original amounts as well, but they have a different title to the discount. It's a different title to the discount.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure in my own mind, as you know, I always have to, that other paperwork was not necessarily along with this, but it's all covered.
It's covered here. Yeah.
It's covered, and really and truly, I've been doing some digging in the paperwork of the former era, and something that's really clear to me in their debt instruments. It's all about the receipts.
Ooh, Empress, yes.
It's literally about the receipts, the titles on their form, their records. It's all about receipts.
Yes.
Literally spelled out.
When you come with a paid receipt like this one is showing that there's no debt, it's going to work. But you have to be able to show that okay, now on the creditor side, this is what the creditors have done.
Right.
We don't have to deal in debt, and we shouldn't. We should always show that the debt is canceled. That's what a receipt really is that it's canceled. There's nothing due.
But you see, in the former era, as you know, as we all know, that they weren't doing double. They couldn't do the other side. So
they couldn't.
It could only be debt. But I saw it with my own two eyes, and with this knowledge, of course, it was just like, oh my.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
It makes absolute sense.
Yes. Yep. That's how the grocery demonstration that I did worked. It worked. They were not going to stop me from taking stuff out of the store.
Because they couldn't.
They couldn't. I had a receipt for it.
Had a receipt.
A receipt with a zero balance, paid in full.
Paid.
In other words, there was no debt due, and then I had my delirium to put the credits there.
And it's slate of hand. It's paperwork. It's paperwork.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Islam.
The word receipt has been it's been popping up everywhere, Empress.
With history, if you listen to different podcasts and everything, I'm coming with receipts. Yes. And then you recognize that for me, that's not that those receipts aren't the truth and you can track, but ultimately it's always been about the economic system. It's always been about the system. But you have to, the receipts had to be labeled correctly.
Yes.
Labeled correctly. And they had to be in the correct jurisdiction.
Yes.
And that's the word of the let's see, the year, the rising receipt.
Yes, is receipt. Yes.
And it also, at the same time as we stand, it receipts the fiction.
Empress Sasha, you just said it.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
Yeah.
Because both sides of the ledger were taken care of, were accounted for.
Counted for. Count.
Yes.
Count is also a title of nobility, but that's where it is.
Yeah.
All about the flow.
Yep.
All about the flow, the current, the movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yes, Empress, I'm back in. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Islam.
Islam.
Listen, when we balance those books, it works. It works.
Islam, is there a video for the grocery demonstration, or is this you only shared it?
We talked about it on the Congress. As I was looking at the grocery demonstration previously, I noticed it happened in May, January, March, April. Yeah, it happened in May of 2024. And that's when we did the video and when we talked about it. So if you will, to look at those videos in May 2024, it worked. See, when the law says that something has been paid for or that there's no debt due, then automatically whatever it is that had a lien on it is free. That includes persons. That includes persons. And a vehicle, an automobile is a person too. Paperwork is persons. That's why we're not persons. But we control all persons. So, and that's even for Justice Johnny, what he was saying about the grocery store and about Walmart and all of that. We can do that. But it has to be done. The ledgers have to be balanced. And then you have to let them know you're coming. Let the subjects know you're coming. And then do a court action when you get there. And stay on the court action. You know, sometimes, as I've been speaking to subjects, and sometimes if I feel like something is getting off center and they're kind of forgetting who they're talking to, then I'll say, what did you say your name was? And then I'll say, okay. And then I'll state their name. Stating their name puts them in their proper status. And then we keep on. I keep asking the questions and things, and I'll allow one maybe two questions, but after that I'll say I'm the one asking the questions here, you know. So, you know, that's how we do our court actions, because we just let the Spirit lead us. Sometimes the Spirit will have little flags to be raised. We can feel a little bit of that divine urge to restate and state jurisdiction, because jurisdiction can be invoked at any time. So while we're talking, we're staying invoked with proper jurisdiction. You know. So is everyone clear on this demonstration here?
Islam,
Empress.
Yes, so Empress Sasha kind of answered this asked the question. However, so this, we have to notify the parties for the Internal Revenue, as well as the place that holds the conveyance that we're desiring to acquire.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Subjects in the Office of Internal Revenue, we notify that part of our system so that everything balances on both sides. That's the purpose of a 1099 acquisition. The acquisition says it identifies both parties, and it doesn't identify, it affirms that both parties are doing something, and then we're the ones who tell the Internal Revenue system what was done. So now, this 1099 that we've done is the same document as when we first put on the public record the statement that we're the heirs to all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. Everything that we do it ties together. Everything that we do it's a continuation of government authority. This is even in alignment with treaty law. What does treaty law state? It states that if there's anything going on between subjects, citizens, and Moors, that the consul shall decide. Well, there we've done it. We've decided that the debt is canceled and that we have that much, 1/10 of 666 trillion that's due to us. That's our tithes. And at the time that we put the 666 trillion on the public record, the ancestors just said, this is the number. And then magically, because we're magi's, magically the debt number came up to 1/10 of that as a tithe to the Lord's. We are the Lord's on the land, period. And everything aligns with our word and what we state. Now, there was something about the grocery demonstration, and I have to do more grocery demonstrations, that's for sure. The Safeway demonstration, that grocery demonstration that we did, here are some of the things that we did. in preparation for that demonstration that made it go so well. Article 1, the first, in other words, one of the first things we did was a Universal Commercial Code 1 lien affidavit on our government letterhead against, and I can't, the subject, let's see, against the corpse Safeway, in all capital letters in black ink. Okay, that was the name of the subject was Safeway. So that's what we did. We did a lien first. That was the first thing we did in preparation. This was before we went in there with delirium and documentation. The second thing that we did was an internal revenue tax levy on Safeway, on the corpses acting as Safeway. We did that. Then we did a general bond on the Safeway and the property, bonding that property to us and to the land. Then the fourth thing that we did was this, and this is the part that some miss this part in their demonstrations, and it's okay because we're catching everything up, and it's for everyone even still. But those that are doing the highest level finance, these things are important. We know that. We restated the Securities and Exchange Affidavit for the initial presentment of Safeway. It's called a 10K affidavit, and we'll show you that here shortly. We'll just show you what it looks like. We did it already, put it on the public record, and we've done this for several, including the United States. We did a Securities and Exchange 10K in proper legal tender based on lawful money as well. Islam nobility.
How are you, madam?
All is well, Justice Willie. How are you doing?
Nah, I just finished my TikTok live. It was so interesting.
Yes.
Yes, I learned so much from just a topic that I was discussing about would you marry to a beautiful robot? So it generated some guys from Neuralink and all those guys were making these things. And one of the things I've discovered is that in the food and the things that we are eating, there is what is called nanoparticles that is in it. And the bad news is that we're ingesting those things. But I don't want to bring any negativity for you to start fret or for anyone to start worrying.
We'll just cast a spell, because we've already blitzed all the food.
So, but what I need to ask you, because I find this bonding thing very interesting. I was watching. They were putting this police officer in jail for 15 years after he killed a guy who was, compliant and all of that. Okay. And they were saying that he's not, because the defense team was saying he's not worthy to receive a bond. Now, I try to look into that. Why would he not be worthy of receiving a bond? To understand how the bonding process works in the prison system. Why would they deny him a bond? Can you explain that?
Yeah, and really quickly, the purpose of a bond, in the previous era, the purpose of a bond was to use the people's money quote unquote, or the people's credit to do things. That's what bonds were in the previous era. So if the city, quote unquote, the actors acting as city said we're going to introduce a bond, then that bond, the people had to come to, they were supposed to come to a meeting called a quote unquote city council meeting and approve the bond or disapprove the bond, because see, you had to get the people's buy-in on the bond, because there was going to be a tax to come after that. So you had to get the people's approval to tax them by way of calling this quote unquote city council meeting. See, the people were actually the council, not the people, not the ones up there, up at the front of the room. That's not the city council, the people are. And so with us, when we do lien, levy, and bond with our statements that we're doing, what we're stating is that the people and all that has to do, or the people's property, is bonded to the land by way of our word and our courts. That means that all the property is governed by us. That's what it means. Because see, at a quote unquote city council meeting, the people were really the ones making the rules, making the laws, quote unquote. But you wouldn't think so, because cities, quote unquote, actors acting as city went rogue and started taxing the people on things and pulling people over on the side of the road. That's a tax and all of that. And the bonds were supposed to cover that. But he didn't, the one that you're speaking of, the actors that you're speaking of, they couldn't give him a bond because he took a life. He took a life. And when you take life, because see, the thing is, our main law was or is do no harm. Do no harm. So he did some harm to somebody else. And his status means that he's not worthy of a bond. Because see, the system has flipped. People don't know it, but they're going by what we stated. In the previous era, if he was quote unquote rich, he could have got bonded out. He could have bonded himself out in the previous era's enactment.
So in other words, it's like take away the bond. It's like I have money and I offer to pay to get him out. Is the same thing. The idea is the same thing as a bonding, right? Am I correct?
It is, but is he bonded, or whoever it is that are they party to the bond is the question. That's the question with bonds, is are you a party to, because see, the purpose of a bond, even in the previous era, was to get whoever it was to say, I'm a U.S. debtor. That was the purpose of it. It's a confession. That's what a bond was, is that you're bonded under servitude to the U.S. That's why we didn't do that. That's when we did our demonstrations, we was like, I know you ain't bringing no paper to us. No, we're not signing any of that. Because a bond is not from the previous era. He's not worthy because our bonds, he has to be in the right status to be worthy of a bond. A bond says, I'm bonded to the land. But we have to state that on the public record. We don't just sign anything anybody put in our face. We write what goes in our face. We write it and then put it on there. For example, any more who is in a jail demonstration, who's doing a jail demonstration, if they have a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper, they can bond themselves out. They don't know that, but they can. All they have to do is write, I am bonded to the land and not to any courts or corporation. I am not any person in all capital letters, as that is against the law. And just state what they know about who they are, and then send it. Hand it to anybody. Anybody coming by, anyone acting as a jailer and all of that, our word, and then when they sign it, they might as well pack their bags. They're ready to come out of there.
Okay.
So that's how bonds work.
Mm-hmm.
A bond is your statement of who you are first and foremost and where you are.
Okay.
Who you are and where you are. That means that they don't have any authority to even judge you because you're a judge yourself. So that's how it worked even when I was doing my POW power demonstration. Is we just kept being the court. We just kept being the court. We just kept doing court actions every day, all day. Any faces we saw, if they stopped at our court, we just started judging them.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't do nothing but open the door.
I have a little follow-up question before.
Yes.
All right. So what I've been able to discover too is that the IRS is basically no longer functional, and the I think it's the Federal Reserve. Even this week I saw where the main guy stepped down. I forgot his name. So
Jerome
it seems
Powell, the subject Jerome Powell.
No, that's not Jerome. There's another one. He's very much intertwined with the operation. So I forget his name, but I can look it up. But it's as if there's something going on with the Federal Reserve and the IRS. They're not functioning as they used to normally.
If you would, let me correct you really quickly. The Internal Revenue and the Federal Reserve, we are they, and we are functioning.
I mean, the IRS.
But the actor is acting as Internal Revenue. So if you could just correct their status.
Is the IRS and the Internal Revenue Service one and the same?
It depends on which jurisdiction you're at. If you're speaking about the corpses, they are one and the same because that's agents, principals, heirs, assigns, and any derivatives thereof. If you're talking about us, we're the Internal Revenue for our state, our nation, our government, the earth, and we are who we are. We're the living Internal Revenue. And we're not a service and we're not an agency, we're the government.
So what's the connection though with our IRS, Internal Revenue, and theirs? For instance, you have let's say you have a mortgage or you have a car debt or whatever, and it would have been attached with them. So you're doing your process now. What's the connection to get it over to you so that you can discharge the debt? I'm trying to make the connection.
We just showed it just now. Lien, levy, bond, and that's what we're showing here on the screen, as well as the Internal Revenue automobile document that we showed you. You have to get rid of the debt because all debt is canceled. We canceled it. It's called Jubilee in the Bible. But we have to show that process competently. And so we just showed you what it looks like where automobiles and domiciles and any other thing is concerned. We're canceling the debt. And then we have to state the status. So let me just finish this right here because this is what you're asking. You're asking about how to get it from a debtor thing to get the property to be properly stated. You do a lien, a levy, Internal Revenue tax levy. That's how you get it done. Then you do a United States general bond. And then for Safeway, we did the Securities and Exchange thing for that because it's because of the status of that commercial venue. And we'll show you what that looks like just momentarily. This is how you move things over, nobility. Then we did a list and money affidavit sent to the subject at headquarters, and we'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. Then we did a trust deed for the land that our Safeway is sitting on. In other words, we had to Justice Anthony will be with you in just a moment. We haven't forgotten you. Islam. The trust deed for the land where that Safeway was at. And again, all agents, principals, heirs, assigns, and any derivatives thereof. We had to do that and put it on the public record and notify the subjects that this is where you are. You're not in a corpse, you're on the land. Then we did the test. This is a copy of the receipt. This is the original, not the original. This is the capitalized receipt. That's not a real receipt. Okay, that's not the real one. But we took this one and we used what we saw here to create the real one, the real receipt. And we'll show you that it's restated here below. So here is the Securities and Exchange Affidavit that we put on the record for Safeway. We'll show it to you up from top to bottom. It's an affidavit 10K, Securities and Exchange Law, and Congress, we voted on that Securities and Exchange Law right around this time, and then we began using it. We crafted the trademark for Safeway, and you know, we did it our way. And then we restated everything. We restated the exchange values of the stock and all of that. And you can just look at this in your own time. And then these are the, this is the delivery items from when we sent these out.
So would you say the reason for restatement is that they have it wrong, so you're correcting the record?
Yes.
Okay.
And a better explanation on our part would be theirs is not real. It's incompetent. We have to make it competent.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. I yield.
Islam. Thank you, nobility. Then here is this is what we sent to the Safeway headquarters, which is our office. And we put, you know, at the time we had the subject doing business that was previously acting as manager. We had his name there. And then we stated, you know, what we were doing about Safeway stores have the right to receive gold coins, silver coins, Morris sovereign dollarium gold receipts, and United States fiduciary money as stated, bonded, and written hereby effective immediately. So in the previous era, not the previous era, in the most recent Congress, Justice Johnny brought up using dollarium at different places. These things have to be done because, again, when we did the demonstration, it worked like a charm. Article 6, trust deed for the land. We notified the subjects in the office of that this is where you are. You're not in a corporation or anything. We just restated the trust deed and it's deeded to the people. Okay? And there it is, the property value, the assessment for the value, and all of that. And then we paid a $10 dollarium gold receipt fee, allodial cost, to have this put on the record further, because we put it on the record first. Okay? And then we autographed it. And then here is the zero balance. This is the receipt that I took in there. This is a photo of the actual receipt. So what I did, Morris, was study their receipt process and then write my own. Founder's receipt, the store number, the phone, where Safeway is actually located, because when you look back at this, the receipt that was on this one, you see where they say they are? You see that? Capital letters, black ink. That's not even real. So you see how we restated that? This is where they really are. And Safeway is not in black ink and capital letters. That's just not where that is. Even when I went in there to do this demonstration, they were like, well, do you know who Darcy Alderman is? And I was like, she is a subject in the office of Safeway. And when the system first got put up, she assisted in putting these in there. I had to tell them who she was, that she's a subject. I studied their barcode process, and this right here is the store number, the date, the time that you go in there, the store number, the date, and the time. So at the time, it was the 24th of May, and it was at 7:07 that I went in there. Okay, so again, I just studied their because again, we're competent heirs. We can look at systems and know systems. Then I had milk and honey and bananas on my list, and I showed that there was no tax, and then I wrote in the money amount here. This is the time that I went in there and the date that I went in and did this demonstration. And I also put on the bottom of this receipt the certified receipt numbers for when I notified the subjects in the office of headquarters. Okay, from when I notified them and when we did the lien in 2018 and all of that. Total number of items for this receipt 3. And then I stamped it, King County Superior Court. And so if I were to do this today, King County Superior Court would not be in all capital letters. It would be in capitis diminuendo minima. But at the time, we were just demonstrating according to what we knew, because that's what the ancestors said to do, and it worked. So we restated everything. And here's the receipt that I used. And so this barcode, when on the one on this receipt, I just took this barcode right here and I altered it, changed it to blue. And this is a receipt that I found in the parking lot of Safeway. Someone had dropped a receipt, so I said, okay, I'm going to take this receipt and I'm going to restate it. And I changed the barcode to blue because it's commerce, and I assigned the number and everything, and there was not a thing they could say and do to state that this wasn't real, and then I autographed it at the bottom as Chief Cashier.
And what would be the purpose of doing that?
It was just to get to get groceries out from a place that belongs to us, that's on our land. That was the only reason I did it, was to demonstrate that, because we talked about it. And all the things that we talk about, we actually go out and do. And then we come back and say, okay, this is what happened. Do I need to make it a little more competent, and we just let the Spirit tell us what to do and how to do it. And again, we don't need fiat to get things on our land, but we have to go out and do the demonstration and show that we're competent to govern those resources.
Forgive me though, a receipt is something that you'd have already got, but you're saying you use it to get stuff? I don't understand. Because remember, okay, the receipt is after the fact.
And for us, the receipt is before the fact. That's different. I'm so glad you said that. For us, we come with the receipt. Why? Because everything is prepaid. It's been prepaid from our estate. It's been prepaid. But see, we can't do it in debt, so we have to show that the debt is not there. And when I showed that the debt is not there, then they were willing to, the system accepted the delirium. And the subjects that were there, they didn't have any say-so in the matter, to be honest with you. I just did a court action on them and told them what I was doing. And they was like, okay.
Islam, if I may.
Islam.
Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10.
Yes.
I know the end from the beginning.
Yes. The Lord always declares the end from the beginning.
So with that stated, the receipt being stated in the beginning, as the enactment would state, the receipt comes at the end. We are the gods at earth, so we state the receipt at the beginning because we know all and we create all. So, like I stated, it's at Isaiah 46, chapter 46, verse 10. Pardon. Yes, I know the end from the beginning.
Yes.
Islam Noble. Islam. Okay, I just want to comment on a demonstration that I have recently done. I'm attending a gym, and what I did was I took the logo for the gym and created behave like I'm the president of the gym.
Okay, because you are.
Yes. And then I created a credit line. And I put the amount and I put prepaid on it.
Yeah.
But this was done prior to me doing a lien and a levy. And notify the gym owner.
Yeah.
And because I'm insisting that I'm not going to use the fiat, and I'm not going to contribute to the national debt.
Yes.
And I told them I don't want to go down in history, to participating in something that, is just immorally wrong.
Yes.
So I went. The manager been like, avoiding me and stuff. But because of my determination, I showed up at the gym. When I showed up at the gym, I tell them I have an arrangement with the manager. So I went in. I was allowed to go in, and I eventually get to speak with the manager, and I tell him in person that I am not going to contribute to the national debt, and I have to work out. And I have already given him honor, with my instrument. And he just said, go ahead and work out. So sometimes they do pretend as if, they don't want to honor what you're doing. But by law, they must. And we have to stand and with determination to be on the right side of life, right? And there's there's just no two way about it.
No two ways about it.
Right. You just have to do what you must do because you have a purpose and you want to live a righteous life, and you are doing and standing on the righteous side of life. So I yield. I'm just saying that even though they're pretending as if it didn't work, but I am stepping into that gym and I am doing my workout and nobody's bothering me, right?
Yeah.
So I yield. I'm just saying that.
Before you yield, I'm sure.
Wait. Please let me just honor her. Please let me honor her, please, really quickly. We are just so grateful for your work, Empress. Your work is magnificent. It's flawless. It's beautiful. And it's truth. Islam. Thank you, Nobility. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Justice Willie, but
that's fine.
I have to give credit.
Yeah, I was
Thank
gonna
you,
ask
Empress. And
her is
if it
that
wasn't for you, I wouldn't be standing in the way I do. And I really thank you for the knowledge that you have imparted and your work. I really appreciate it with much gratitude, because it really helped me to really stand in the way in which I wanted always to stand. And I'm grateful for you as well.
Thank you, Empress. The boldness is just, ooh. Yes.
yes,
Before you speak,
Yes, Mom, I'd like to say something to Petition that.
Please,
oh my gosh.
Justice Anthony had something to say a while ago, and he hasn't said what he was going to say. Justice Anthony was going to say something. Thank you, Empress Minerva.
Islam,
Justice Anthony.
it's all good. Enough respect to Empress Shirley for the demonstration.
Yes.
We honor you, respect that, and a lot of us would learn from that. And like she was saying, enough thanks to you, to Empress, for the teachings. Yes.
Islam.
Yes. And peace and great gun rising to all the Moors. I had a brief question regarding what you had said during the conversation with Justice Willie about, for example, being incarcerated in a cell, and you would write on a piece of paper or something about being bonded on the land. Right. Is there a section of law that supports that?
The Constitution for the United States, Article 1, Section 5, but the whole Constitution really, but the Fifth Amendment for certain. The Fifth Amendment states that the people shall not be held nor compelled to answer for a capital, and that's the only way jails were even working, is they capitalize a name and get you to claim that name and say that's me by talking to them and answering them and acting like they're talking to you.
Okay.
The Fifth Amendment.
Okay. Gratitude, Empress. Thank you for that info.
You're welcome. Also, just with what Justice King Moomin L stated, he talked about the Article 1, Section 6 of the Constitution also states that the judges in all states must honor, and they're not even real judges, so we know they better be quiet.
Yes, that is true. They have no jurisdiction.
And those are not ego statements, it's truth.
It's true. They have no jurisdiction.
None.
Yes. Gratitude, Empress.
Islam nobility, thank you.
All right, can I go now?
Empress, Justice Willie, yes, please continue.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a follow-up with Empress Shirley. She had mentioned that she spoke with the manager and the process that she did, but I'm just wondering, the average individual who are in these capacity, I'm not sure that they can relate to what is being said and done or understand. And I think that they have to refer these things to the upper echelons who understand what's going on. Would you agree with me with that?
Ignorance of the law is no excuse. I don't care who it is. There are no upper echelons in the subject status. That's not even a real manager. You're the manager. We're the managers.
I'm just saying that the thing is, most time, hold on, most of the times, what I'm saying is, these people have been compartmentalized. You will find people working in a cubby hole side by side, and they're not even knowing what each other work entails. So it's like a compartmentalized idiot beside each other. But the man who is like the CFO then, he understands what we would be saying rather than a regular clerk at the front desk, if you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, and that energy was trying to come in when I was doing my grocery demonstration, but I didn't allow that energy to come in because ignorance of the law still is no excuse. So what I did was, again, and this is how we do due process. we notify the subjects in the office of headquarters. Because, see, Justice Willie, they were acting as if they were a corporate office, but we're the home office. That means home rule. Home rule. We're the home office. And the home office supersedes all others. So I notified the subjects in the office of headquarters a week before I went in to the store. And this was after these things were all done, and I had been sending things to the subjects in the office of store and Safeway. I had been sending things to them for a couple of weeks. A lien, a levy, a bond, all that. A copy, clearly stamped copy of the title deed. The trust deed. I did all of that. And then I told them what I was going to do when I came in there. So I sent the letter, this affidavit that I showed you, and it lists some things. And at first I had a whole bunch of things on the list, and the ancestor said, just keep it simple for now, because right now you're just notifying them, and then see what the outcome is. And when I did that, it worked.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I had a similar experience with Canadian Tire in Canada, where I took my MORE card to get my tax exempt, and they were refusing, but I called headquarters, and the manager actually called me and said, whenever I come there, I will be honored. And since then, no problem. Yeah.
See, now we're we are speaking to that you don't owe anything, because again, they're still accepting fiat, but it's just the not tax part. Okay, now no fiat at all. You'll take Dolarium and these documents and still give me from our land these things. But we have to tell them where they are. So I had to tell them, the subjects in the office of Safeway, I had to tell them where they are in the documentation. So, and because I was able to articulate the same thing that was on the documentation, it worked like a charm. So, what I did also, Moors, and this is how we prove our competence, is I went online and got the pricing of each one of these products. Went on to the Safeway website and got the pricing and put that there, and then put paid in full, so zero was due. But I did reflect how much each one of these was and what the total was, because the receipt is for them, but it's for us too. And they couldn't argue with how much we knew about our own estate. They couldn't argue with it. Yes, this is Safeway. Yes, these are the products. Yes, that's the pricing. Yes, this is a receipt. It's signed, and it even has a gold seal and a raised emblem on it, a raised seal on it. You can't argue with that.
Islam Empress.
And we're in honor. Islam Empress.
To me, this is no different than in this era where you make a purchase online that is prepaid for, and you're going in and showing proof so you can get your items and you can leave with them. So
that's it. Empress Nabi, you just simplify everything. It just makes it makes it ring bells in our turbans. Thank you for that.
Islam.
Something you said the previous Congress too, Empress Nabi, about the donor letter.
Islam, yes.
Remember, see, our United States, the creditor United States, is going to implement that donor letter situation with our resources everywhere as we continue to move forward, so that massive amounts of things are made available to everyone. Remember, we showed that letter about 3 years ago. There was a letter, and it talked about a federal person, and it was supposedly, quote unquote, signed by Donald Trump. Remember, we showed that letter? and then we restated that letter. Well, when you said what you said in our most recent Congress, I brought that letter back up, and we're going to again restate it again and properly state everything for that letter, for that donor letter.
Islam, I do recall it's a part of actually giving tribute, or that tithe or 10% back to our nation, or tribute like they were supposed to be paying in the first place.
Exactly. Exactly. Empress Nabi, I'm grateful for you.
The same here, Islam.
Yeah, we Empress matriarchs, we just be tracking. We just be tracking each other. The nobles too, of course, but for me, the matriarchal piece, because that was where the first disconnect happened. We had to agree to disconnect from each other, and that was difficult for us. And now we're connecting back with each other, and it just feels amazing.
Islam, indeed.
Yeah, indeed.
Islam.
Islam.
If I may, I'd just like to give Empress Charnette her flowers on her demonstrations, because we had worked some time in the past, and I'm so appreciative of her growth and her steadfastness to the process and everything that she's demonstrated. Islam.
She's so bold, and I just I'm a Leo, so I love the boldness. Bold. Just not scared of nothing. Go ahead, Empress. Sorry.
Well received, Empress Angel. I appreciate you too. I love you as well.
Islam.
Islam,
Empress.
Question. So when we do the pre-stated receipt, how is it then that we're doing the barcode, and is it necessary?
It's not necessary.
Right. Okay.
They didn't scan anything. I just did it because I was looking at the one that they did, and I was like, I'm going to just restate this. I know it won't scan, but or it might scan. I was like, if it needs to scan, it'll scan. If it doesn't, it's a system.
Of course, because if it doesn't scan, they just key it in. So there you go.
Yeah.
Second question, and hopefully I'm not ahead of what you've already stated, even though it's already stated, but I'm not sure if it was complete. And this is regarding the securities portion that you shared with us. Now, when we actually do the mailing portion of that, should we not do the red and white instead of the green and white mailing receipts? Or does it even matter? I know that when we're doing security, supposedly it's the red and white, but I'm not exactly sure yet.
I'm not sure what you mean by the red and white.
So the return receipts. So when you go into the post office, and you know how we normally pick up the green and white, they have the red and white for supposedly securities, but I'm not sure if that actually matters in what you're demonstrating here.
I've not seen the red and white, but I guess I'll have to just be more observant when I go in there. I haven't seen the red and white. But if it's for securities, again, Empress Imani, first and foremost, they don't dictate what we do, but it's worth taking a look at if it's there.
Yes, ma'am.
So that we can properly state that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll look for them the next time I go into the post office.
Islam,
Empress.
So I have a question about the Securities and Exchange Affidavit. In this process, this is the step that I hadn't seen, and I guess my question is, how does that apply to corporations, for instance, here in Canaan land that are not part of the Securities and Exchange Commission? They have no they have no number, you know what I mean, to restate in some cases. and they're not listed in, for what I could see at this point, in this part of the system. Am I creating a new affidavit? Am I placing them within the system by creating this affidavit? You know,
so for Canaan Land, Empress, every company at Canaan Land has a parent company that's listed. Every one of them. Every company at China, every company at Africa, every company at Mexico has a parent company. If they're not directly listed, they have a parent company that has listed, and then they'll include the names of the other companies in their filing, somewhere in their filing. So here's the thing: if you don't see it, then either it's not necessary, or we probably have already done it. But I wouldn't worry about it until the ancestors, because see, now that you've spoken it, the ancestors are going to start showing it to you.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
It's interesting, as in this past strong, you know, doing some research and locating. What I have found is corporate business numbers have been a new part of the system that has been revealed to me. So I'm integrating that point of information, and how to then utilize that in how I am placing them in the accounts. So this is just in alignment. You know, what you've presented here is just in alignment to that, as I am seeing new ways of stating the corporations, and I don't know if it is so important, but I'm finding it's a part of it in restating the corporations so that they are on the land and then to be used for our use in our favor.
And Empress, they're ready to be used for our favor. They're ready.
Excellent. Gratitude, Empress. Oh, and lovely gold. Oh my gosh, so lovely gold.
Thank you so much. You know, I just willed to present who we really are this year.
Islam.
Yeah, Islam. Thank you, Empress. So,
Islam,
Empress.
Islam, peace and grand rising to the Congress, to everyone. I had a question or statement regarding, you mentioned, or Empress Nabi, or you, the donor letter. Yes. And I wanted to, the national programs that were instituted and voted upon by this Congress, would that be part of that process, or will they be revisited? Because I remember I had mentioned about back in the enactment, even back in the late 60s and early 70s, when the subject would bring the milk and the juice and the eggs and things. That was part of a national program. I didn't know anything about it, but that was actually a part of the national program that lasted even until I believe, late 60s, early 70s, before that stopped. And they didn't use fiat or anything like that. It was just a part of the Moorish program.
And the program, Empress, was implemented by stamps. They called them food stamps at one point. At another point, they called them some other kind of stamp. But a stamp is money. And that's how the programs are implemented, by stamps, and then they changed it to vouchers, then they changed it to something else, to SNAP program or whatever, but it was still it started out as a stamp program. And the word stamp means money.
Islam, Empress.
Islam.
I'm also thinking about with this when you say stamp or voucher, kind of also like the WIC vouchers. They're already done, and you're getting in exchange. And then
Yes.
there's another piece. I'm trying to think of it. There's a grant piece that I've seen that's similar to this as well when it comes to the indigenous people, where they're granted a certain amount of goods. And also military has things where they would come into the community and there were certain commodities that were granted to military families and personnel.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not, listen, and we stated this before, Morris, we're not doing anything new. The system is already set up for the things we're talking about. The system is already set up for the things we're speaking about, except we're doing it not from an inferior place, but as the lords over the system, that system is subject to us. So even, let me just say this, even when they talk about low-income people, those people like, those actors, not people, those actors like Warren Buffett and Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they've all been claiming zero income. That's how they get not taxed. It's not, they go beneath low income and say zero income. But nobody ever points that out.
Islam is because they knew the definition of what income meant. And they knew that by the definition, therefore, they wasn't receiving an income.
Therefore, you cannot tax anything that's not income. So they could be just, you know, and I'll just speak about us. We don't have income either. We're compensated, but most importantly, everything that we have is inheritance because the land is ours. The land is ours.
Islam, you could almost change the can you go back to the document what you did for the conveyance, the cancellation receipt? You could almost change that to inheritance, yeah, right here. 1099 debt cancellation receipt, inheritance something or other. You know what I'm saying? You
So
put that.
I do, but the system recognizes certain words.
Okay.
Especially when you're talking, see, the entire internal revenue is the way that is one of the ways that our inheritance is gained. That was our bank. It still is. The internal revenue is our bank because no one's going to try and question or resist the internal revenue. No one, because the laws are made by the financial laws and things are made that way.
Islam,
if
they could transfer credits to us, I'm looking at this in a sense of they would also be able to use our trust to be able to transfer that back into, whether it would be nation trust or dynasty trust, treaty trust, they would be able to transfer those credits to us.
Or to themselves.
Exactly.
That's why we have to do it. And we have to be competent when we do it. And we're competent, you all. More, we're competent.
Islam.
Justice Amazite, it's so good to hear your voice. Wow, where have you been? We missed you.
I've been, oh my God, I've been trying to contact all of y'all, but I guess y'all are Islam.
This is the best place to find us. I'll tell you that. Congress is the best place to find us.
I know, but the time's different. But I figured it out. You know, I figured it out.
Yeah, Islam.
Islam. I got like 3 quick questions.
Sure.
One question is, do you recommend since Congress already used them receipts? One might say what they call them certified receipts. right? The
Yes.
numbers.
Yes.
Since Moors already use them, can Moors when they restate things, since it's already been put on a public records, is it fair to say to just use the numbers and that present them?
Sure.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
You're talking about the green the post office return receipts. Those
Right.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, sure. Those are accounts. Those are post office accounts.
Okay. Number 2.
And court action numbers.
Right. Okay. Number 2. I can't find a video. I don't know if you did it this year or last year. I think it was with Redbird. I don't misquote me though. But all Moorish government, I think the Congress had willed that all Moorish government or institutions each had a set amount within the sovereign delarium.
That is correct.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. I was looking for that video because I wanted to do a demonstration, but I wanted to be right and exact with that. Do you know what video I'm talking about?
We've stated that many times, but we'll make it this video. We'll make it this video, but we stated that from the very beginning, we put $100 million into the trust for each one of the governments, and so that they can access whatever it is that they will to access. As we're doing this, everybody is coming with us. So.
Right. Well, I wanted to do a demonstration, but I didn't want. I know each Moor has the same thing, but I didn't want to. I've never done nothing personally, so I wanted to do it from the temple standpoint.
Yes, please do.
Okay. My second question: is there a new, up-to-date Moorish sovereign delario the way it looks?
There is not. We're actually, Unniversalle and I were speaking about that in the previous Congress, in the most recent Congress from this most recent Sunday. And it doesn't look like, from our perspective, our signature is going to be in capitis diminutio minima, which is going to make it so that because the delarium is in capitis diminutio nolo, which means all lowercase letters, when we sign it, we'll sign it with the first letter capitalized and the rest of the letters lowercase, and that will take care of us, that in capitis diminutio minima or media mandate for commerce. Because all commerce is done in capitis diminutio minima with the first letter capitalized, the rest of the letters lowercase. That's how commerce is done. It was never supposed to be done in all capital letters, and it's not done in all lowercase letters either.
Okay, because I've seen some things, and I'm like, well, did they do the update? You know,
No.
I know that one brother, I was on one call and I just couldn't get through. I know he got something else going on, but I've seen some others, and I'm like, and so I try to go on the videos, and I only see one on the video.
Yeah, and it should be that. It should be that one. But I will say this, Justice Amzite. Fortunately for us, other Moorish nations have seen what we're doing, and they just took what we had and made it their own. And I'm not feeling any resistance in my spirit from that because they're self-governing. So, and again, they're moving as a whole nation, you know, a whole government. So we can't tell sovereigns what to do. And here's the thing, the competence level, when the competence level is there, they can't be told no either. So we're just, you know, we're not even proprietary, as it were, about delarium. What our will is that no one go around using fiat talking about they're free. You know, so we put something there, and what we put there, the other nations are free to use what we put there. You know, they're free to use it. We just will that they put the competence and the, because we put processes in place for delirium.
Yeah, I saw poor competence. That's why that would make me ask. I didn't reach out.
And that's okay.
Reach out, but I just wanted to make sure so I could, dot all my I's. But another question: how can I get? I got a new phone, so I think I had some type of contact, or I just need that to send you something, or
to see us separately.
Yeah, I would like to speak with you and send you something to review.
Okay, so you can send us something to review by email, and then you and I can meet here on on this platform some other time. Whatever time we set. If you'll just email me, Chief Justice Amzite, and we'll meet on this platform here so that we can meet face to face and speak about whatever it is.
Okay. What email should I should do that on? I need to see your mind. I can see your mind.
I'll say this too. When you and I speak, you can even show it. You can present it. That's why I like this platform, is because you can present whatever it is yourself. But the email, Justice, are you able to see the chat, Justice Amzite?
Yes.
Okay, my email is in your inbox. Just let us know that you have it.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, great. Yeah, if you'll just send it to us, and then in that email, let us know what time is a good time, what day and time is a good time for us to meet, and we'll coordinate our meeting that way.
Okay. Because for a long time, I just was kept on. It was just like it would not let me in for like months, weeks. I don't know,
Yeah.
But I figured it out today, so that's what was going on. Yeah.
Good.
I think that's it. Would this video be going up? Because I came in the middle. I didn't see the presentment. Okay.
It'll go up probably tomorrow or the day after that. I try to, because I go through and edit, but I'm having to do less editing. So that's
right.
Yay. No, right, Empress Navi, yay.
Okay, Islam, my year.
Thank you, Justice Amzite, and we're just grateful that you're here.
Always.
Islam, Empress.
I'd like to make a verification for the record. So the red and white is the registered receipt. So you know how we do the green receipt? They have, I'm not sure what color that part of it is, but I know like the other detachment that we do, the green and white portion, there is a red and white.
Yeah. If the Spirit says use it, Empress, use it. Our system knows what, our system recognizes what's going on. And so, yeah, definitely. We did use that actually in 2018 or 2019. We used it to send notification to the subjects in the Office of Universal Postal Union at Bernay, Switzerland. We used it for that, the red and white one. It was pink, actually, and it was in French on the back. Yeah, we used that. It's the United States return receipt, and it worked. We didn't use any. Yeah, it worked like a charm.
Well, the previous noble mentioned, when he mentioned the word registered, I was like, oh, that's the term, because I couldn't think of it earlier.
Yeah.
Islam.
Yeah.
Islam.
We just had to, of course, we had to, do the lien. We had done a lien levy bond on the post office up to that point, or on the United States and all agents, principals, heirs assigned, or the U.S. and all agents, principals, heirs assigned. So we did the lien process before we sent it out to make sure that everything goes the way it should, and it went well for us. So those are usable for those who will to use them. We just know that the green ones work everywhere and for everything, and right now that's a good thing for us,
Correct.
So
Islam.
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 Yes, Islam, Empress.
Islam. Empress, like, is there a You mentioned about the updated government mailing stamps. Is there a link for those, the updated stamps, or how we?
I believe they are, yes, there is a link to them. They are under the video. They're in the description of the video where we did the lien, levy, and bond on the post office, where we showed that. We showed it at that time, but the lien had been done years before.
Correct. Yeah, I did get those, but you're saying it's now been updated more recently, where is no capitalization. Is there a link for the updated one?
It's the same link that's under there.
Oh, it is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I recently updated it myself about weeks, months ago, when we first did that correction as being led by the Spirit. Yeah.
Islam.
Islam. Now, Empress, if you go there and you see it and it's not showing up that way for you, please let us know. But it should be, because we put it there.
Islam will do.
Yeah, Islam. Let's see. So there's someone who is inboxing, and I'll just reply to you, or I'll make some statements your way. Hopefully you have declared your nationality, and so that those things that you're putting in the inbox to us, so that those things manifest. But nationality is first and foremost on the list of things to do. Islam. You must declare your nationality. And we have a video on declaring nationality on the public record. Can someone go and get the link to that video, please, about declaring nationality on our channel? And place it. Islam nobility.
I thought just hit me that I don't recall you doing any of these congresses regarding what we should do for our offspring in terms of their nationality and nationalizing them and the age and what, et cetera, et cetera. I might have missed. Can you care to say anything on that, please? And thank you.
Sure. We have talked about that previously, and we do the same thing for them that we do for ourselves, because they're just as much sovereign heirs as we are until they become, after 7 years old is when they're actually considered a sovereign, a full-grown sovereign, an adult sovereign. But that's because up till 7 we will have taught them everything. So declare their nationality, even though they may be, and put their little right red thumbprints on the documents. If you have to sign for them because they're below the age of 7 years old, then go ahead and do that. But we have found that letting them express their signature however they will up to 7 years old is empowering for them. So just say, have them take a pen, a red pen, and say, how would you write your name here, your appellation here, your holy appellation, not your name, your appellation here, and just let them express it however they will, and then put their right red thumbprint. That's a ceremony in and of itself. That lets them know how important their nationality is. Then nobility also restate the birth affidavit and also make a birth certificate as well.
What would you do if you're meeting with resistance, especially as they get a little older? Maybe they think this thing don't work in courts and so on. Because I have a 17-year-old and I have a 13-year-old, and sometimes I met with kind of resistance and from his mother and all of that too.
So whenever we're if we feel like we're going to be met with resistance, and we've dealt with that as well, the ancestors tell us to do the documentation anyway and put it on the public record. They don't have to know that you put that stuff on the public record, because they probably, obviously, if they're resisting, that means they don't understand and overstand it. They don't know that it's for their freedom. Our job is to just do it anyway. We put it on the public record. And then when the time is right, because see, it's our word that makes things happen. So once we put it on the public record, we autograph it and everything and put it on the public record, the whole universe will conspire to make them know what you put on the record.
And by the way, since you have been affiliated with the army and so on, or the force, if you find that one of them is indicating interest, like in the infantry, they said that these don't go to war and all of that, what would be your guidance?
If they want
to join the infantry.
So I would ask them why. Why do they will to do that?
Just for the money and the discipline, I guess.
Okay. So I would explain to them that there's way more to, because see, ultimately sovereigns do what they want, they want to do, or will to do rather. But they really, it will be eye-opening for them if you explain to them that we're not at war, so what are they going for? If they're going for money, money can be gotten other ways. They can start their own business. They can do other things for money other than put on a uniform and go and get a gun and go trying to shoot people. But if they insist on going, we send them with our blessing, and then we, again, they don't have to know that we put all kinds of documentation and spells on the public record in their favor, but we do it anyway. Rebut, restate, all of that in their favor. And you'd be surprised at, when we do it that way, you'd be surprised at how quickly the ancestors change their minds, because I've seen that firsthand. For people who are resistant to, because there are some in my sphere of influence, my physical sphere of influence, who don't always agree with the things that we do, but we just let the ancestors give us a way to express it, and then we put it on the public record, and the universe does the rest. See, then their timelines on social media start filling up with things that will persuade them our way with the things that we know, with the laws that we know. I've seen it happen too many times.
Because one of the concerns I have, as you know, these people tend to be very the fine print. They'll tell you, on paper, so and so and so. That's the large print, so to speak. But the fine print, they don't really spell that out to you, and they make you feel comfortable. And before you know it, you've signed a binding an adhesion contract and not even know it. So I do understand that they may want to go and earn some easy money or join in there and get some discipline. It's not a bad idea, but you never can tell what can happen down the line, and they may draft them to go fight wars.
So because of the dismantling that we're doing, that we're all doing, they probably won't stay in long.
Okay.
Because of the dismantling that we're doing, the people that I know of who just since we woke up, who decided to go in there, didn't even stay a whole enlistment. I don't know of anybody who stayed a whole 4 years in there. Okay. They were trying to hurry and get out, because it's not pleasurable for them. So either way, the ancestors are going to have their way with them. Either way. And, the dismantling is it's making it so that it's not even worth it for them to go in. But they have to see that for themselves. They would have to see that for themselves. And the ancestors will show them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Islam.
Islam.
Yeah. Islam, Empress.
I'd like to add to that because I have 3 heirs, and 2 of them get it. They understand. I have one that is, because they've seen the tests that I went through, they said they don't want to go through those type of tests.
Yeah.
But I tell her, I say, you can never change your bloodline, baby. Never.
Right.
Never. I say, so it's always going to be here. I say, and when I need to step in or the divine needs to step in, you can't do anything about it. So I love you, and I'm going to continue to protect you as long as I'm here to protect you.
Yeah. Yeah, we the ancestors will turn tables over and document the paperwork. All that stuff will be. All we have to do is put the intention in the air, in the atmosphere. The prince of the power of the air is a real power and authority that we have. Prince meaning thumbprint. Because, see, that's a misinterpretation in the Biblios, how they say, oh, Lucifer is the prince of the power of the air, No, it's about the thumbprints.
And what I've seen happen is the documentation starts popping up in places that she's going.
Yep. As soon as we say it, Empress, that's why we just go ahead and put the stuff on the public record like we didn't even hear them object. We've just gone and do it and let the ancestors do the rest. We don't have to tell them.
One of the subjects came from the back and asked her, we were getting release of funds, and he asked her, aren't you a Moor? She was like looking at me like, how did he know that? Mm-hmm.
Yep. It is what it is.
And on that note, I put the link to the the video on YouTube in the chat.
Thank you, Empress. Thank you so much for that. So those who are interested in nationality and nationalizing, that is the link that you can look at, and there are some documents linked underneath that for you to study and then to make them your own.
One more thing I'd like to add.
Quick question.
Yes, Empress Nabi, and then Empress Imani.
For the younger heirs, one of the things that they have enjoyed, because I do my nephews and my nieces, like a rites of passage, I include them in a lot of the things that I do so they know how to do things.
Yep.
I yield.
Yeah. My consort he's not a big believer, because some people still think it's about feelings and beliefs, and so I just have to put things on the public record and do it anyway. I just have to do it. I do it, and I let the ancestors, anything that is necessary for him to see, the ancestors will show it to him. They've done it all this time anyway. So I just let him do it. Keep putting things on the public record. He's an institutionalized. He did 30 years in the military, but we don't worry about it. We just keep moving. We just keep moving, and the ancestors are bringing it, making it happen everywhere for everything. So, we just say keep going, keep moving. Let's keep going. We're demonstrating and demonstrating. We're going to continue to demonstrate. And we know, see, peace is manifesting because we keep demonstrating. We don't even go, we don't do this. We just keep quiet and demonstrate it. Do it. Put it on record. And let the ancestors manifest, because every word we speak is the law. Even people don't even think it's the law, but it is. Like Moors will be saying things and they don't realize they're making laws while they're speaking. But you're making laws while you speak, Moors. That's why we have to be careful what we say and make sure that what we state is proper and appropriate. You know. So, Islam.
A question, how do we proclaim power of attorney over our parents' estate or family? And I'm not even sure if we actually use that term, but I'm not exactly sure how we would actually do that, if that's a
the same way you would any other property that is being claimed by subjects or people who don't know who they are. Subjects or blacks, Negroes, colors, African Americans, whatever. Lien, levy, bond, title, allodial title, and then trust deed. That's how you do it. It doesn't matter who it is,
right?
When it comes to the process. The process is the process until they speak otherwise.
Okay.
And when I say until they speak otherwise, until they declare who they are first, because as long as they're wearing a mask, they can't own anything.
So when we, and I'm doing some thinking while I'm processing what you're saying. So, say for example, how can I say this? So when there's a possibility that they're turned over to the state, so-called state, and we have to prove power of attorney over them and their estate, would that be the same thing?
Of course, you have. Listen, everyone is a subject until they declare who they are, and they may not think so, but the law is the law. So we do the claiming the same way we would for any other property or any other anything. Same thing, same process. We've had to do that.
Okay. I think I'm getting what you're saying, because I may have to prove it to someone other than the subject themselves, or the sleeping Moor themselves. I may have to prove it to
subject acting as what? State, whatever. They know. They are. Listen. It's not that documentation is not new. On Moore's government letterhead, it is not new. They've been seeing it.
Islam.
Now, I would encourage you, Empress, in cases like that, to also send a restated state constitution.
Islam.
They know what that means.
Islam.
See, we are, a lot of times, Moors are under the impression, and I say under the impression because it's a false one, under the impression that those people don't know who we are. That those persons don't know who we are, that those subjects, listen, the only reason they are here on this land was to serve in a capacity for us. There's no other reason for them to be here. That means they got to know who we are, right?
Islam. And if they were born here, then their parents told them.
And grandparents.
And grandparents, so they know. Because I ran into a subject, and she made I don't know, because she was born here, and I stated to her, well, your parents or whoever should have told you, and so then you do know. And her question to me was, so does that mean you're going to take me off? Meaning take her off the land? And I said, I can't.
We have the authority to do it. They know that.
And I said, I can, and she shut up. She had nothing else to say.
Because they know we can.
Islam.
We just don't, for us, we don't wield that.
Right.
No, we don't wield it that way because it's not necessary. We walk softly and carry a big pen.
Islam.
Walk softly and carry a big pen, because see, our subjects, if we said every one of y'all get off the land, which we're not saying that, but if we did say it, they would actually do it. And that's not really why we're here. We're not here to boot them off. We're here to put them where they're supposed to be so that all live in peace. Because they actually have a purpose.
Islam, that part. Islam.
And we love that purpose, don't we? Yes, we do.
Islam. Because I don't want to cut the grass and I do not want to clean bathrooms.
And they to them that is their purpose. They will to do all of those things. Not just toilets and cut grass. They will to worship, as it were. Worship in the way of service, and I'll spell that differently. Okay.
Exactly. Cook a meal.
Yeah, Islam. Justice Dumois, thank you so much for what you put in the chat, and we will that your heirs have the happiest solar returns they've ever had this time around for sure. Islam. Thank you for that. Islam, Empress.
Gratitude, Empress. I'm the young lady that gave text you in the chat.
Yes, Islam.
It's so coincidence, like you stated, that the ancestors do hear everything that you say and do. I think a couple of months ago I was like, oh my gosh, who am I and why I'm here? I bump into you. I bump into your YouTube channel, and I'm like, okay.
I chased you. I pursued you.
You know what? I believe it. Because it fits so, it fits like a glove.
Yeah.
So it's really happy. And I'm going to tell you something, that a lot of the gentlemen and young ladies that come on the YouTube when they speak to you, you're so pleasant. I have also heard sometimes when people come on and they're a little rude, you just keep this level head, and your presence make them, whatever is not of God's presence, have to leave and just dissipate. And I want to thank you for this being level-headed and this being spiritual as you are. I want also to thank Angela. I think
Empress Angel.
Yes, you call her your angel. I want to thank her for sending me the YouTube channel. I thank you so much. This is the first time again, and if it's okay, if I have problems of anything or how to learn who I am, I'd like to know if I can chime in again and let you know.
Oh, absolutely. What we suggest, Empress, is this. We suggest that you, before you bring it to Congress, go back through the videos of Congress, because I already see it's a formula. Success is a formula here. For we do the same things for each. The remedy is the same for each issue.
Yes.
So before you bring it to Congress, watch the videos, and the Spirit is going to point you to the video that has the answer for whatever it is you're looking for.
Islam.
Just randomly pick a video and watch the answer to whatever it is, whatever question you had. It'll be right there.
I believe you.
You are a magistrate, Empress. You're a magistrate. Magistrate, the root word being magi. So you call forth whatever it is that you will. Watch. It has worked for all of us. And I'm not speaking for everyone, but what I am saying is it works. You work because it is you that is manifesting who you really are. Just like you found our information, all you have to do is ask the great within, the great I am, to show you some information, and then just randomly pick something and it'll be there.
Islam.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're so grateful that you're here, Empress. We're so grateful that you're here.
You make me want to cry. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll keep continuing to listen and learn.
Yes, Islam. Thank you so much, Empress. And of course, we're here every Sunday. We're here.
Okay.
Islam.
Oh, Islam.
So, Congress, we've shown you the demonstrations that 100% worked for us. Absolutely worked for us. And so, are there any other questions, comments, wisdom about what we've shown you today?
Will these documents be placed or affidavits be linked to this video once it's posted?
Yes, this one will. The 1099 creditor acquisition affidavit will be. What else? Yes. I'm not sure about the Safeway receipt. It may not be linked, but these other two will definitely be there. Definitely. Yeah, Islam. And then we ask that you all just you listen. The same spirit that gives us the answer, the remedy gives you the remedy as well. So we just say tune in to the spirit, and the spirit will tell you everything. The spirit, see, the ancestors used the spirit to even create our estate. That's how come we know it's so easy to access it. It just takes study. And what else have we got to do than to govern our wealth? There are no other priorities. Saving ourselves, assisting our brothers and sisters, and governing our wealth. And we are in transition as a nation. We're transitioning back to where we were, to our own land. We're there already. We don't have to go anywhere. We're already on our land. And now we're just using our systems, learning or remembering how to use our systems to access our estate. It's already ours. Everything is already ours. We're already the wealthiest ever. Already. All we have to do is be willing to hear and access the great I am within, and those answers for these documents and this documentation, it all starts with nationality, bloodline, and birthright. Islam. Islam, Justice Atiba.
Yes, Empress, again, wonderful, happy, bliss, solar return to you. And thank the Most High, all praises due, that you are still here, ushering us into a complete paradigm.
Yeah.
And I say that to say this. I've heard it stated that the half has not been told. Whatever that half is, it has not been told. And then the young folks I listen to today, I'm of age, and the young folks I listen to today with their slang talk, with their slick talk says, make it make sense. Yeah. Whatever they talking about, whatever it is, it's stated. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Out of the many, many avenues that I travel in the Moorish world, and I've traveled many.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Even when I listen to our great Emperor, tajiri, trying to put it together. And, he does make sense in his deliverance, in his delivery. I heard people come on this channel and confront you with their understanding lacking a overall understanding. Yeah. And when I hear them come with those confrontations, I hear in the spirit, make it make sense.
Yeah.
And you have always made it make sense.
Islam.
I'm in place, but I'm not in place. And but it makes sense.
Thank you.
And from my heart, I appreciate you, Islam, and I approve all that you're saying.
Thank you, Nobility. Thank you so much. Justice Atiba, thank you. We feel the love, and we so appreciate it. We so appreciate you, Islam. Thank you. Islam, Justice Consul.
Let me say happy solar return, and thank you for the insight you're giving to us on Congress, and enjoy it.
Thank you, Justice Consul. I will. Thank you so much. I would listen. I'm just loving that I get to share this your time on this day, because it's important that we do appreciate one another, and you all have opened your hearts, and it's just amazing. I love all of this. This is a great gift to be able to spend time with you, and for you to share your time with us on our solar return. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
So today's your solar return?
Yes, it is.
Oh wow! Happy solar return. We should. How do you sing that? Happy solar return to you. Happy solar return to you.
Wow.
Happy solar return. I just invented that. Come on, everybody. Happy just pull your mics and let us sing to her. Come on, everybody. Pull your mics. Let's do
that. The recording started. Many expressed before the recording started.
Come on, people. Pull your mic. Let's try it. Happy solar return to you.
Congrats.
Happy solar return to you. Happy solar return. Happy solar return. Yeah.
Wow. Justice Woolley.
Yes, sir.
Justice Woolley.
Yes, sir.
Make it make sense.
Make it.
Thank you.
It makes a lot of sense. We're singing our queen, our empress, our matriarch. And look, she's all decked out in gold. Wow. Awesome. We wish you many more. Yeah, many more.
Thank you so much.
Will come later.
And I hate to crash your party, but look, remember you have $10 million in the bank, and you're supposed to send me $200,000 to buy that Cadillac, so I haven't forgotten.
Islam. All right. Islam empresses. There's a couple of empresses.
Okay, I just want to say that you're wearing the most appropriate color for the appropriate day. Today is Sunday, and the color gold represents the sun.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Empress. Thank you so much. It was all intentional, knowing that
Justice Willie.
With the nobility.
Was really good, Willie. That was really good.
It's just impulsive.
We love it. We
Thank
absolutely love it.
Islam, and that gold color that the Empress is wearing, that demonstrates that we're gold backed.
Oh, yes. Yes. We are the gold all day, every day. Islam.
Islam Empress.
Yes. Thank you, nobilities. I am just so honored to be in the presence of the nobility on the land. I'm just grateful that we know who we are. This is awesome. There's nothing better. It only gets better from here, but this is the best. This is the best, so there's more of the best to come. Islam. So with that being stated, the emphasis that we spoke of earlier, if you would stay on the line so that we can just speak briefly.
Islam Empress, a quick question. What time does Congress start officially?
Congress starts officially at 6 post meridian Eastern, which is 3 post Pacific.
Okay, because I've noticed I've been getting on late, and I'm thinking, why am I, every time I get on, Congress is already started. So now it's 8:28 here. What time is it there?
6:31 here.
It's 6:31 there.
Yeah.
9:30 in the northeast.
9:30 in the northeast. Yeah.
6:30. So it's 2 hours difference.
Yes.
Okay, and it officially starts at what time you said?
It's 3 p.m. Pacific, 3 post meridian Pacific time.
That's your time. Okay.
Islam, Noble Anthony, what location are you at?
Jamaica.
Jamaica?
Yes.
Yeah, you're in Central Time Zone.
Right. I realize.
Yeah, that is 2 hours. Islam.
We are actually Islam. We're actually Eastern, but we don't do what do you call it?
Daylight saving.
Daylight saving. So it's
Mm-hmm.
5 p.m. our time.
Mm-hmm.
Noble Anthony.
Beautiful.
Gratitude. Thank you, Empress Sasha.
I yield.
Islam. I yield.
With that being stated, peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs, and thank you so much for the solar return well wishes. Thank you. Islam.
Peace and grand rising.
Grand rising.
Grand
rising.
Grand
rising, more.
Peace and grand rising. Enough love and enough respect. Enough love and enough respect.
Happy solar return.
Thank you, nobility. Thank you, Justice C. Petit L.
Peace and grand rising.
Peace and love to the more. Islam, peace and love. Happy solar return
Empresses,
again.
if you would stay for just a moment. Islam,
happy solar return again.
Thank you, nobility. Thank you so much.
Islam.